In December of 2007, I uploaded my first video to YouTube, a little clip known as WTF Marine. Now, at this time, I was still a fresh boot in the Marine Corps. I had just gotten to my unit at Camp Lejeune, and I was coming home on Christmas leave block. So I meet up with my buddy Kyle, and we're at his house, him being stationed in California at Pendleton, and me being all the way in North Carolina at Camp Lejeune. We're hanging out over the holidays because we both have the same leave block, and we're talking about how different things were between the West Coast and the East Coast. Now, Kyle is telling me about life in his unit on the West Coast, and I am currently distracted by this shelf that he has in the corner of his room with these McFarlane ultra-realistic military action figures. I'm completely ignoring everything that he's talking about because I'm just so entranced by these stupid action figures, and there's two of them that stand out in particular. There's one in the prone position, and he's got a saw, and it's got this ammo belt on it that's kind of looped around from where the cartridge is, insert to the ejection port, and it's kind of set up for an infinite loop. And the other one in particular is this staff sergeant who is out pointing his finger. He's got these cool Oakley sunglasses on, so you know that he is a badass. And while Kyle is trying to tell me this story, I've got these two figures in my hands, and the only thing I can think of is this salty staff sergeant yelling at this PFC on his saw saying, "Hey, what the fuck, Marine? What are you doing here? You must be an Einstein because you solved the equation for infinite ammunition." And it was just the funniest thing in the world to me. And while I'm doing this, Kyle at some point had dropped this story that he was telling me, and he walked over and, he starts joining in with me. He is the staff sergeant, like, "Hey, look at these cool Oakley sunglasses I got. These mean that I'm not a boot and you are a boot." And it's funny to us because we're a couple of boots newly in the Marine Corps, and we're just laughing about how we both had this same experience with staff NCOs and everything. So we decided to take these figures, and for some reason, I don't know, we made these like 4 or 5 little skits, and we recorded them. And he ended up putting them on YouTube on his personal account and called them WTF Marine. And I didn't think anything of it for the longest time.
"Hey Marine, what the fuck is this shit?"
I probably didn't notice people talking about it or known that it had become somewhat of a viral video in the Marine Corps until sometime in mid-2008, and we were getting new people in the unit from the School of Infantry, and they all knew what it was. And it turns out that at some point it had become a viral video, and some, of course, staff NCOs had downloaded it to their computer. Thanks for, dodging the ad revenue for us. And they were showing it as part of these attention grabber videos while they were doing classes at the School of Infantry. And at this time in the internet, there weren't a lot of military-oriented videos, so I guess it took off pretty quick. And over the course of between when it came out in 2007 to when it got demonetized in 2016, it had garnered us like $3,000 in ad revenue that Kyle took all of that, and I don't know where it went, but it had become this hit video. And when you look through the statistics of its popularity and views, it had been re-uploaded 1,000,000 times by other people, but it had slowly gotten pushed out And the death of it is when we had stuff from like Tyler Satterfield, we had the EAS song, you had Haji Girl come out, you had all these cool military-oriented music things that just kind of pushed it out of the limelight. They were a lot better production quality. They weren't these stupid action figures. And now you have a lot more military-based content like Donnie O'Malley doing stuff. But from December of 2007 to probably mid 2009, it was one of the premier military videos on YouTube. Thank you very much. We had a good time with it. Never thought it would get big at all. Whenever I look at it, it's still one of the dumbest things I've ever made, but I'm glad that over the years some people got a little bit of enjoyment out of it. I was actually going to show the clips at the end of this video or re-upload them to my channel, but Kyle told me that he would DMCA strike them if I did, so, you know, just to be a dick. And that was really the life and death of What the Fuck Marine. The only thing that I had ever made on YouTube besides my new channel, Antemortem Event. And I just want to use my new channel to look at the life and death of other weird content on the internet, and probably do some streaming as well, because I'm horrible at video games, but I like to talk shit about them.